Sunrise on the boat is always beautiful. But in today's video, it is the top 5 moments so far of owning our first boat as a family. Dad Edition, celebrating our 300th subscriber.
Ready, 3, 2, 1, go. Go hard, hard.
I've really got to get a new cover. Goodness me. Well, my first top 5 moment would definitely be something which I'm sure the dads can relate to. It'd be the time when Samuel, my littlest boy, he's 7-year-old, caught the largest fish on the back of Boston with the smallest rod. We actually set out on Boston and decided to have a sibling fishing challenge where we decided to have a challenge where who could catch the most fish and who could catch the largest fish, with obviously a consequence at the end for the loser. And it was great to be able to watch Sammy pull in the biggest fish, our very first King George whiting. It was about 45 centimeters long. And the thing was, having him holding that fish and seeing the expression on his face is something I'll never forget. And I'm so glad we had that moment together on the back of our first boat. I'm so looking forward to getting our shore shade installed, just here to give us some more shade, in the next 4 days. To get these poles off the boat and in position so we can get some more shade. Now, the second top 5 moment I would have would definitely be watching my eldest daughter, Brianna, face her fear on the back of Boston. We actually went out fishing and she was catching some of the most fish she's ever caught, as well as some of the largest. But the thing was, she had never actually gotten a fish off the hook before and then released it. She'd never actually held a live fish before.
No!
So in the end, she actually caught a King George whiting. She faced that fear. Yes, there was a lot of screaming involved.
Go, 1, 2, 3, go. Go, hard.
No. Sammy, you'll notice, has his hands over his ears as she's screaming. But regardless, she held the fish, she got it off the hook, and she released it. Yes, she threw it a bit far, but the fish was okay in the end. I don't know what it is, but our cabin always smells funky when you don't get air through it. My next memorable moment would definitely be the time we went down to Anglers Fishing World here in Fremantle, Caleb and I, my eldest boy, because we had to go and buy some new fishing rods. We needed some mid-range rods, and we didn't have any idea what we were talking about. We had no idea what we needed. So Eli and Marco down there taught us so much about the different types of rods, the different types of rods you can get, what size. You can get stiffer rods, you can get graphite rods, you can get different types of reels, what they're made for, how you use them, the different type of overhead reels, and we learnt so very much. But the thing was, which makes it one of my top memories, is not only was I able to share that with my eldest boy, Caleb, but also Eli and Marco and a lot of the people around that we've met who are very experienced in boating or very experienced in fishing are very generous with what they've learnt. They want to be able to share that information, and it makes it so much easier as a new boatie to learn when people are, I suppose, enthusiastic to teach. I knew there was going to be people out there who would help us, but we have met so many fantastic people, and they've been so helpful to get us to where we are today, because we have come so far. But the one thing I learned as well, going to the shop and speaking to the experts, I still have so much more to learn. It is unbelievable. I'm still getting used to trusting the engines. As some of you may or may not know, we've had some issues with the fuel filters, getting water in them, and I've just been keeping track of them. There's no water in them now. I just want to run them to make sure no water's coming through. Now, my next favourite moment would definitely be when Caleb and I went out deep sea fishing for the first time on the back of Dean's boat, the Boat Whisperer. Now, what happened was Boston was actually in dry dock for the first time, and we were getting her engine service as well as it cleaned. And Dean was nice enough to suggest that we go out on his boat so he can not only teach us how to catch squid, but also go out and do some deep sea fishing together. And not only did we learn how to catch squid, not only did I catch my first squid, but technically I caught its tentacle, one of them, because I pulled too hard and practically ripped it off, the poor thing. So unfortunately, I suppose I sort of caught one, but regardless, going out of the deep sea, watching the sunset, having some drinks, catching some fish we've never caught before, and sharing that with my son and Dean, Caleb's uncle, was something I won't forget. And it proves to be again why we bought our first boat. It's not necessarily the fish you catch. It's just the experience you have with the people in catching them. Or I suppose not catching them, in my example. They've been running for about 20 or so minutes.
And no water so far.
And the final top moment for me as a dad is definitely also one of the funniest. We actually like buying toys for Boston, and one of the toys we bought is something by the name of a snorkel, which is a very small compressed air cylinder which allows you to stay underwater snorkeling, I suppose, for up to 5 minutes. And the thing was we wanted to test it out in the back of Boston. And we found out that pumping it up is impossible. So poor Caleb had to get into a freezing cold pool after a big night out to test how many breaths we could get, to see if it was worth it. And much to the delight of his little brother, he was freezing cold. But at least we found out we definitely do want to explore more of the scuba diving. We are going to be getting our scuba diving license, I'd say, towards the end of winter here in Perth, because we want to get ready for summer, because we have fallen in love with swimming underwater. We are also going to be getting a portable cylinder, which we're going to connect these small cylinders up and fill them up in 30 seconds. But Caleb actually has bought a new one, a different model. I don't know what it is. He got it delivered from Amazon. And we're going to be testing that out on the channel, and we'll compare the two to see which is the best. But truly, I haven't laughed that much watching Caleb get into a freezing pool in a long time.
Tables, this is your job from here on out. I get 2 free passes. I was in bed 20 minutes ago.
We've got some new ropes actually installed for our sea pen because we wanted to lock her down during the winter months. If you want us to run through what we've done and how we've done it, please let us know in the comments and I'll show you what we've done, because this sea pen has been the best thing ever for Boston. But the best thing also following that is having ropes that lock it in place. To all the people who are following along and buying their first boat, welcome. It is a lot of fun and you will enjoy it. And the thing is if you haven't subscribed already and you want to follow along, please do hit that subscribe button. I have to run off now because we've got to get to the basketball to get prepared for tomorrow's fishing trip, which is hopefully going to be checking out or proving that the brand new Yeti bucket doesn't stain because of squid ink. Because now I can catch squid. Well, a tentacle.